Indian Navy looks for carrier-based fighter aircraft for its INS Vikrant and INS Vishal. The Indian Navy has launched a global search for maritime fighter jets it plans to operate from. Future aircraft carriers INS Vikrant and INS Vishal is awaiting response from top military contractors on what they have to offer. The Navy wants 57 multi-role carrier-borne fighters, MRCBF, and the potential order could get bigger with an option clause to buy more jets. The hunt for new deck-based fighters comes at a time when the Navy is left with just a solitary aircraft carrier, INS Vikramaditya, following the decommissioning of Virat on Monday. The Navy issued a request for information for the multi-billion-dollar MRCBF project in January, giving aircraft manufacturers a 4-month deadline to respond. By May, the foreign firms have to answer queries on technical parameters, budgetary estimates, likely level of indigenization, transfer of technology and schedule of deliveries after a contract is inked. French, Swedish, Russian and American firms are likely to compete for the project to equip India's future carriers, indigenous aircraft carrier I or Vikrant being built at Kochi and indigenous aircraft carrier -2, which is in a conceptual stage. The Navy has rejected the naval version of the light combat aircraft. It wants a twin-engine fighter with a stronger airframe and landing gear to operate from a flight deck with high-tempo flying cycles. Height gives you the lowdown on the planes that could fly from a future Indian carrier. Rafale M. French aircraft maker Dassault Aviation will compete for the MRCBF program with the Rafale M fighter. These fighters are embarked on French Navy's nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. India signed a $8.7 billion deal with France last year for 36 Rafale warplanes for the Indian Air Force. Dassault is hoping the Indian Air Force order could give it a head start. The firm believes it makes better sense to equip the Indian Air Force and the Navy with the same platform, as it would translate into better logistics, maintenance and industrial support. Gripen Maritime. Swedish aircraft maker Saab will throw its hat into the ring with its Gripen maritime fighter. Saab says the maritime fighter has 95% commonality with the Gripen E. The Swedish firm is closely tracking an Indian Air Force program to build single-engine fighters in the country. Saab says the maritime fighter features all the capabilities of the Gripen E and will come with a highly competitive operational cost per flight hour. Low maintenance requirements and high availability for operations make it an ideal solution for the Indian Navy, a Saab spokesperson said. F-18 Super Hornet. U.S. defense giant Boeing's F-18 fighter jet is also expected to be a strong contender for the Indian Navy project. The F-18s operate from American supercarriers such as USS Nimitz and USS Ronald Reagan, with the U.S. Navy accounting for a fleet of more than 600 Super Hornets. The American firm is also in discussions with the Indian Air Force to set up a production line in the country to build twin-engine fighter planes. The U.S. has offered its electromagnetic aircraft launch system, IMLS, technology and advanced arresting gear for indigenous aircraft carrier II or Vishal. India and the U.S. have formed a joint working group on aircraft carrier technology cooperation. MiG-29K. Russia will be eyeing the project with the MiG-29 fighter jet, already in service with the Indian Navy. The deck-based fighter operates from INS Vikramaditya, a second-hand carrier bought from Russia. The Navy commissioned its first squadron of MiG-29K fighters at Goa in May 2013, ahead of the induction of INS Vikramaditya. It also plans to deploy the fighters on the indigenous aircraft carrier I, having placed separate orders for 45 MiG-29K fighters. Thank you for watching. Please, like, share, comment, and subscribe.